Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's episode of the Hot Pole Podcast, where we talk about music, gear, and guitars and tech and all sorts of stuff. I'm your host, Adam Steele, and joining me, as always, is Mr. Liam Wright. How are you?
Hello.
Hello. Yes, it's been a heck of a week. I thought I'd recovered from moving house, and then it all hit me like a tank yesterday. So yes, what a roller coaster it's been. I'm sat here with a very sore knee for no good reason I can think of. Maybe it's part of getting old. But yes, very, very busy times. What have you been up to this week?
Just working, really. Just working. Nothing too exciting. Doing some campaigns and stuff. Yeah, just same old, really.
Fair enough.
Nothing really much to shout home about. Cursing the fact that I don't have Windows Pro on my mining computers because Windows keeps updating my drivers and causing my mining soft computers to stop mining because they're updated to the latest drivers.
Oh,
for
you
AMD.
don't have a choice. Oh, great.
Yeah, but if you've got Windows Pro, you can use the policy editor to tell it not to do that, but you can't do it if you've got Home Edition.
Bizarre. Oh, apparently there was no YouTube notification. Isn't that annoying? Good job, YouTube. Thanks.
What an asshole.
What an ass. Yes, it's been a mad busy week for me. My setup here is now pretty much complete, although it's still a complete show on the floor. It's a right mess because I set aside last night. I was like, right, Wednesday night I'm gonna clear up the office. I'm gonna sort it all out. And then I was so ill yesterday that I just went straight to bed at 5:30 p.m.
Ouch.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. I just felt like I had a hernia or something. But I'm fine today. So whatever it was, I just overdone something. My body was like, "Hey, buddy, just don't." So I just didn't. Yeah. Bizarre. But yeah, all this kind of heavy lifting, big man, big strong, don't need to work out in between. Yeah, that caught up with me. But yes, aside from that, I was in the studio today. I was capturing for the Celestian video. So that's going full steam ahead. I managed to get 10 cabinets done out of 25. So, yeah, 10 times about 9 clips, plus lots of impulse responses. Yeah, very busy. Plus, getting the gear together for a project that I'm doing tomorrow, which, seems to be a broken record now. Something I can't tell you about because, ugh.
That which shall not be named.
That one thing of many which cannot be named. If it was up to me, I would tell you all everything that I'm doing, but yes, it's.
I know.
You know most of it, I think.
Anyone else.
Yeah, No, you do know. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, well, I'm covered under the NDA for the business, so that's fine. I'm allowed to know.
Ah, yes, you are. Yes, I signed yet another NDA this week. It's getting silly now.
Be careful. All of a sudden, we won't be able to speak to our own family.
Yeah. Hi, how you doing? Can you sign this NDA?
I signed an NDA for it. And we're now not allowed to speak to anyone except for X company.
Yeah. I can tell X company how my day went, but not my lovely partner. Yes. Oh dear. But yes, aside from all that, this week's gone surprisingly quickly. I now have a lovely setup with 4 screens in front of me, which I was talking about on the live stream that I did. Was it last night? Must have been the night before because last night was the one where I just threw in the towel. So it was Tuesday night. I did most of a mix of a song for Sky Asylum, which was awesome. It had about 17 layers of vocals in it, if not more. Not an exaggeration. Lots and lots and lots. Double tracking, triple tracking, duets, harmonies. Oh my word. So yeah, that was
Sounds
keeping
pretty
me.
epic.
Yeah, it was epic. Epic is the key word there. So yeah, I'm gonna be tidying that up probably on Saturday because it just needed a bit more, but I was starting to get burnt out. After 3.5 hours of solid mixing. Which reminds me, talking of burnt out, my ears are getting a little burnt out. I need to go and get my ears sorted out by one of those medical peoples.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, fun indeed. It's something that's quite common. I think my ears are getting a bit blocked up with wax. It's a problem that I've had for all my life, which is a typical me that I would choose to go into a job where my hearing is paramount, very important. But it's like someone who has glasses this thick deciding that they're going to be a sniper. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't impede me day to day, but after a while, after maybe 6 months, 12 months, it's like a rising tide where my ears kind of go, you know what, you need to sort this out. But it used to be that you had to go and get your ears syringed, which was horrible, where they stuck hot water in your ears. Now there's a thing called microsuction where it's just kind of like a Hoover and they just go, yeah, clever. But yeah, I need to go.
And then everything gets loud again.
Yes. Yeah, luckily, like I said, my hearing isn't really affected at the moment, but I can feel it. And what's happened recently is there's been a few mornings where I've woken up and one of my ears has been blocked. And that's usually a red flag and a telltale sign that this isn't going away. So yeah, to any of you guys who are watching who are mix engineers or who work in music production, if you do find any kind of ear trouble at all, go to a doctor, get yourself looked at before it gets to that point where you're in real trouble. Because yeah, there's nothing worse than having to do a mix and being literally deaf because it's like having earplugs in. Have I ever used ear candles? Yes, once. Don't use them. They're awful. They are... No, genuinely, I thought they were awesome, and then doing a lot of reading up on them, they can actually just burn the insides of your ears and give you loads of scar tissue in there. So, maybe don't.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. I'll pass.
It's like... I think stuff like that is like anything where if you use it perfectly, it's great. If it's even slightly over, bad things happen. That's the problem, because you hear loads of people who say, well, I had it done and I didn't have a problem. Yeah, same for me. I've had it done once and didn't have a problem. But there are so many people that have had it done and it's caused irreparable damage. That it's like, you know what? Let's not. Yeah. Yeah, that's always the thing that gets me, is when people reply to a bit of a warning like that with, well, I did X thing and it didn't affect me. It's like, yeah, I stuck my hand in a food blender and I've still got my hand. If I do that several times, statistically, I won't have a hand. Yeah, it's that thing, the apocryphal tale of, oh, I was fine. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I think it's time to talk about the news, because this one really blindsided me, and it will blindside our viewers as well. Let's roll the intro and then go straight into Behringer Corner. What? Ooh, roll the intro. Okay, so first news article this week is Behringer Corner, which is the backwards bit. And yeah, Aston Microphones, which is the UK-based company that make all their stuff. They have been acquired by Music Tribe. And for anyone who's not aware, Music Tribe is the umbrella corporation owned by Uli Behringer. It's basically Behringer, the corporation. So yeah, Behringer now owns Aston Microphones.
Wow.
This one really came out of left field for me. Yeah, I was taken aback somewhat because Aston Microphones appeared to be doing very well,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't tell if Behringer have bought them because Aston were kind of in trouble and needed buying, or if it's the other way that they were doing so exceptionally well that the CEO decided to cash out. I can't quite tell right now, but this usually we pull our news articles from gearnews.com. This is from Business Weekly because Gear News haven't reported on this one. But yeah, KPMG acted in the deal apparently because it's an international acquisition. Whatever they have done, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, there is a comment from Uli Behringer. The addition of Aston Microphones allows Music Tribe to round out our professional install and touring sound offerings. Blah, 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 blah. And they're basically then just waggling their bits, talking about how many other companies they bought. Throughout our search, Aston Microphones has clearly stood out as the ideal match because of their world-class brand, leading innovation, and first-class team of people. We will invest heavily in positioning Aston Microphones at the very pinnacle of the industry, and the Aston team will now have full access to Music Tribe's resources and advanced automated system platforms in such areas as product engineering, manufacturing, supply chain, and finance. Now, this is really interesting because I think one of Aston's aims has always been to make really good microphones as cheaply as is reasonably possible. And I don't mean like cut every corner to make the cheapest product. I mean like they would ask. That's the reason why all their microphones have got that metallic finish. Is that it would have cost them a certain amount to get them painted, so they went, all right, let's just not get them painted. That kind of thing. It's very interesting that it's not going to be long then, I'm pretty sure, that there's going to be a point where Aston Microphones are made in China. Because their manufacturing of Music Tribe is China. And yeah, it's just a really interesting thing because Aston's business model has always been be really good, be affordable. And I suppose Behringer are on the same kind of line, slightly different, but yeah. How does Aston compare to a Sennheiser or a Shure? That's not a fair question to ask on a podcast, really, because they sound different to each other, but they all sound good. They don't sound cheap, which is hard to put across in words. There's a certain way that they're made and a certain tonality where cheap microphones, you can kind of get away with them for a while, but when you're doing a serious recording, you start to hear the flaws very quickly. Aston always somehow made microphones at a very reasonable price point that you could very happily use on major recordings. But yeah, I think in the short term, this is going to be really, really good because it means that Aston are going to be able to bump up production, get their products into more stores, and yeah, anywhere that Behringer are sold worldwide, which is a lot of places, you'll now be able to get Aston mics. Long term, I don't know. I'm not so sure. Because long term, when Behringer starts stepping in and saying, what you need to do is this, and they can't really say no because the company owns them, that's when I think it's going to start becoming questionable. So, yeah, I'll be interested to see where this goes, whether Aston end up as a flagship brand for Behringer. That could be the positioning. That could be the whole point of this is to have kind of a flagship that is a flagship. Because I know that Behringer make their own lower cost microphones already, so it's not as if they need to fill a hole of the super low cost thing. Like I know that like Midas, for example, they do still make some of the ultra high quality Midas desks, but also Midas is also a byword for, like, in the live world at least, it's a byword for Behringer Plus. Now, where it's like, you know, the X32, the Behringer desk that a lot of live places have. You can get the Midas version, the M32, which is very similar, but with like vaguely upgraded preamps and, you know, vaguely upgraded, you know, circuitry. So that's kind of Behringer Plus, if you will. I wonder if Aston is going to end up as like the microphone Behringer Plus. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, this is the reason this came out of left field for me is having met James Young, the CEO from Aston. He never struck me as someone who would quote unquote sell out. Not that I'm insinuating that that's what's happening right now, but he always struck me as someone who was fiercely independent and did things his own way and was very happy that things had gone well on his terms.
Did we meet him at NAMM?
Yeah, we did. He was horrendously hungover because they just won an award the night before. But yeah, from all the interviews that I've seen with him, the entire ethos, it seemed, of Aston was we do things our way and sod everyone else. You know, that kind of fierce independence. So that's why this has struck me as just big news, because this was for an undisclosed sum. And yeah, I mean, Ben says maybe he's selling to move on to bigger and better things, but I don't think he's leaving the company. Nothing anywhere has suggested that he's leaving as the CEO. I mean, you can't possibly predict what's going to happen in the future. This could be, I don't know. It could be that he cashes out next year and goes. Maybe it's part of the takeover that he is required to stay at the company for a certain amount of time. I know that's been an agreement in acquisitions in the past.
Oh yeah, it's quite common.
Yeah. But even that is speculation on my part, because it was just one of those things that... Also, this wasn't done quietly. That's something that's really struck me, is that on the same day, I got an email from Aston about this as a press release. I got an email about this from Music Tribe as a press release. I saw it on Facebook from both companies. This was an orchestrated, loud and proud PR move. This wasn't something that they wanted to kind of do quietly, you know, behind closed doors and do it as a bit of a strategic. No, this was Music Tribe making a statement. Quite literally. And so, yeah, that's why it struck me as something a little bit, oh, okay. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see, because they do now have premium microphones from Aston, premium preamps from Midas. They've got premium speakers from Turbo Sound and Tannoy. It's probably not going to be long until they're selling like end-to-end Behringer company umbrella signal chains that really are good. Like there are guys like Noel Gallagher uses the Aston microphones in his studio. You can see there are quite a few names actually etched on here. Like there's Plan B and Drake, Ed Sheeran. These are guys who've got Aston microphones, so it's not exactly, you know, a small name. Something that
Music Tribe are owned by Music Group Limited.
Right. Okay.
Who are they?
I think that's the umbrella company.
No, I mean, well, Music Tribe are the umbrella company. So anyway, carry on. I'm just looking.
Yeah, as far as I know, Uli Behringer owns a lot of it, but for whatever business reasons, which are well beyond me, they do things in a businessy way that works for, let's be honest, tax. Anyway, let's move on to not Behringer Corner.
Hmm.
Yeah, so this one I thought was really kind of.
Sorry, one cool thing. Did you know that Music Tribe are based out of Manchester?
I did not.
Yep. Just looking at their annual returns.
Actually, yeah,
Um,
that makes sense. I've ordered pedals off eBay directly from Music Tribe before, like seconds and stuff like that. And I've got the
mhm.
DHL boxes somewhere from their place in Manchester. I actually have the address written on a box somewhere around here. Yeah.
Yeah, where did it say? Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Yep. Company it said Manchester here somewhere. Principal activity. I've lost it now. Anyways,
Yeah.
um, yeah, based out of Manchester. It's their R&D department from its Manchester location as a prototype manufacturer and service centre, and their service centres in Kidderminster,
Huh.
manufacturing capabilities. So yeah, their R&D department is in Manchester.
Fascinating.
Mm.
Hmm.
And Hewley Berringer actually only became a director of the business last August.
Huh.
Mm.
What? Again, that must be a
Mm.
tax thing because it's always been his company and they all have been his companies, as
Mm.
far as I'm aware. But again, maybe I don't know why that would be. But yeah, business reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Business reasons make my head hurt. But there you go. From the intense news to something far more silly looking. Um, this one made me smile. There's apparently a Japanese band called Bandmade, and the guitarist Miku Kobato now has a Zematis signature guitar. Zematis make these wonderful etched metal tops for their guitars. They've been stood out for years. But yeah, this guitar is called the Flappy Pigeon, and I thought that was really cute that the bandmade have got the Flappy Pigeon Zematis custom. I mean, that's a several £1,000 guitar. This isn't just done for a joke. This is real. Mm. Mm. Yeah, Zematis stuff. It's all handmade. African mahogany body, 25-inch like PRS equivalent scale. 24 fret body. Yeah, that's gonna sustain for days. Zematis design Dragon Classics. Even the case is in a wonderful blue with Flappy Pigeon written on the case. That's awesome. I mean
That's cool.
that's gonna sound really good. Unfortunately, the price is to be confirmed, but we'll see about that because this is all the specs are just intense. I might check out Bandmade just because that just seems amusing and will probably make me smile. A lot of these Japanese bands as well, those guys can really play. If you get to this point where you're on signature model territory, yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of these guys are really good. So from really expensive to something that's actually called the Penny Saver. The Penny Saver
All right.
Royale. This is a new Joe Bonamassa signature pedal, just like all the other Joe Bonamassa signature pedals. And this is it's a 2-in-1 way huge pedal. So it's their Blue Hippo Chorus and the Overrated Overdrive Special, just basically copying the Dumble, in one stomp box. Which, I mean, they're two really cool sounds. And I heard a demo video that Joe Bonamassa did with this pedal, and it sounded really nice. But yeah, George Trips is the genius behind Way Huge. Way Huge are now one of the MXR brands, so it's all made in a really nice big factory. But yeah, it combines the two circuits, which should probably make it a little more affordable. Yeah, it's $299 for one of these, which is a little bit expensive, but that's still way less than an actual Dumble, where if you can find one, you're probably looking at $30,000 to $40,000. So yeah, save those pennies, buy a Joe Bonamassa. Interesting to me, it doesn't say Joe Bonamassa or any JB signature or anything on the top. Which, yeah, that's nice to me that it, even if you didn't know whose signature pedal this was, you could still use it and still just be really happy with the tone. And yeah, cool. So yeah, the overdrive is originally from the Green Rhino, which is quite a well-known distortion, which was tweaked into the Overrated Special, which is the kind of clonish, kind of Dumble-ish. And yeah, the two are all jammed together, and it sounds fantastic. And there is this video here, which you can go and check out on Joe Bonamassa's own YouTube channel, Joe Bonamassa TV. So yeah, if you're interested in one of them, go and have a listen.
Oh.
Now,
I figured out the Behringer thing.
All right.
The actual main company's based in the Philippines. That's why.
Tax.
So that was just that he's from he lives in the Philippines. That's where the business is.
Oh. I believe he's German.
He's Swiss. And that was just Behringer UK, but also Music Tribe UK, which surprise makes a loss.
Yes, on paper, of course it does. Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, the business makes a loss, so that it doesn't pay tax here.
Yeah, they have a big loss because every year they have to give lots of money to probably Music Group, I guess.
Yeah, it'll be similar to what a lot of companies do, where they license the technology from the other company and pay huge license fees. So if they want to sell it in the UK, then at the end of the year, if they've made profits, then they just then have to conveniently pay a license fee for doing it. That means that they now make a loss, and they pay that to their parent company, which they also own.
Yes. Tax, like I said. Clever, but... Yeah, you can be very clever and also be an ass.
So
yes. So moving on. This is something that was teased in the news a few weeks ago, and it turns out, this is a real thing. This is the Line 6 HX Stomp XL. Stomp. So it's a little bit bigger than the HX Stomp. As you can see, it's got an extra kind of bit stuck on here. I don't think the insides are any different from the regular HX Stomp. But it does have more buttons you can press with your feet. So it's got A, B, C, and D, and bank up and down, as well as a couple of fancier buttons there. So you can control everything with the feet, which is useful if you're going to use it on stage a lot. Which at the moment means it's not very useful.
Yeah, but soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you're being optimistic that you're going to be out on the road at some point soon, which could be a thing, we're starting to see glimpses of hope. Then, this could be something, like you can see this on a pedal board with other pedals here, which is a very reasonable way to use one of these, I think. They're not cheap at €700. Oof, indeed. But it replaces the whole amp, carb, effects, everything thing. They're pretty versatile. But yeah, I'm not going to say much more about it because I did ask Line 6 to send me an HX Stomp and they never got back to me.
Boo.
You've got my email. But there you go. They're busy people, I'm sure. Send me a HX Stomp. Send me an HX Stomp. It doesn't work. I tried. Anyway, moving on from the matte black and boring to the Irma Gerd. Look at these colours. Some
Ooh.
beautiful standout stuff. This is the Fender Custom Shop Prestige Collection for 2021. I don't
Ooh.
often do videos about the new guitars from this company, new guitars from that company, but these just were so pretty that I was looking at them. Oh my word! The
Mm.
price.
They are cool.
Can you see the price on that?
To something.
Yeah. So the price on this really nice Strat is 23,749.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. So it's literally an extra zero from what I thought. It's 26,500 euros. So probably what, $30,000?
Lots.
Gee whiz. Yeah. The Flamingo Sunset Telecaster, this one, which I kind of like the look of it, but I don't know if I'd play it on stage, is only 17,000 euros.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's the Greg Fessler Tamo Ash Telly, which is just under 9,000 euros, which I don't even think that looks that exciting. But yeah, it uses some special kind of ash where I'm like, yeah, okay. Oh, and
Okay.
there's a Jazz Telecaster, which that's interesting with a wooden bridge and one neck pickup. Doesn't have a price, but it's probably going to be a lot. There's a box top telly, inspired by the construction of an amp cab, which is 11,500 euros. Gee whiz. This one I like, the burled redwood Strat. Look at the tortoise shell on those pickups. That's cool. I like that a lot.
Mm.
Not for 10,500 euros though.
Maybe not.
Yeah, and then there's I'm going to turn off this. Oh, there we go. The double neck Marauder, 21,000 euros. No, no, bad Fender. The Tapestry Telecaster, that's really pretty, but definitely not 20 grand's worth of guitar.
No.
I know of some of the world's best independent luthiers that could do something like this for you for less than half the price of that and still make themselves a very tidy profit.
You sure it'd be less than half?
Pretty sure, yeah. I mean, it would be a lot. That's still a lot of money. I mean, if we're talking 20,000 euros for this, and some of the best luthiers could make one of these for, I don't know, 8 or 9,000, I guess. I reckon Nick Huber would make something like that for you for around that price, if not a little more. But yeah, that's there's an acrylic Jazzmaster for 14,500 euros. I can get an acrylic body on eBay for 300 quid.
Yeah, no, I don't see that one.
No. So, yeah, these are really cool, but I know I sound like an old man because I'm complaining about how expensive everything is, but I'm quite happy to pay. Well, I'm not rich. I can't just buy all of these, but I understand that if someone has a lot of money, they want to invest in a really good instrument. That's an interesting bass with a tree on it. Not my kind of thing, but if you like trees, there you go. Yeah, if you want to spend a lot of money on something that's like a heritage instrument that's going to last you and is very pretty and is exactly your thing, then yeah. If you've saved up for a long time, if you've got money to spend, you spend that money. But I genuinely don't think these prices reflect the above and beyond that Fender having to put into these. But I don't know. At the end of the day, it's your money. Spend it where you want, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I do like these painted pick guards like that. But then there are some wonderful artists out there who could do that for you as an aftermarket product. Again, for a very reasonable price, and it would be very much your thing then. I mean, that P bass, it looks like it's, yeah, rustic reclaimed roasted pine. So it's an old fence.
Reclaim wood, mate. It's expensive.
Yeah. But why? I don't understand that.
Well, it depends on the quality of the wood and where it's from. It's a bit of heritage sometimes.
Yeah. Along with the old nail and bolt holes, in its former life, it was part of an old grain elevator in Minnesota.
There you go. Heritage.
Yeah, I guess. Because America.
Because world.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I mean, yeah, there are certain things like John Brown just got a new guitar from Carillion, which is he's an independent luthier where the tops of the guitars are all this 4,000-year-old bog oak. That's
Bog.
yeah, bog oak, yeah. But that's really cool because that's wood that's older than most civilizations. Yeah, that's kind of cool. But I don't know. Yeah, let's move on from guitars to a pedal you can play those very expensive guitars through. This is the new Game Changer Audio Light pedal. And yeah, this is a reverb pedal, and it's got an actual set of springs in there, but it's also got an optical system in there, and I don't know how that works. I've heard it, and it sounds really cool. And it's got like sweep and trem and these feedback and harmonic modes, and it's just a little bit bizarre. And yeah, it's got this optical harmonic shimmer and things like that in there. It's a very pretty pedal. You can see the light going, and you can see the springs boinging. And there's a switch on the back, which is shock sensor. So I'm guessing that the shock sensor, you can then kick the pedal and it'll do that doing thing that springs usually do. Do you remember in school we had one of those rubbish old practice amps with a spring reverb, and if you hit it, it went boing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did that with my Fender Twin today just because I could. Yeah. I had it turned on and I just hit it and it went boing. It's very amusing.
Because why not?
Yeah, why not, indeed. I'm not a big fan of spring reverbs myself, but it makes me smile when I can smack the amp and it goes boing. It's sad, I know, but the small things in life. But yeah, if you want one of these, it's very different to the plasma pedal, which is the other thing. But yes, you can make lots of different clever sounds with that pedal. So there you go. On to something a bit more techie. This came out this week, the Rode Wireless Go 2. So this struck me as interesting. I'm guessing there's an updated kind of spec sheet on these. I've seen a couple of creators use these because they are very, very small. The old wireless packs that we used to use the old Sennheiser G2 and G3 packs, which are so big. You know, they're not the size of your fist. They're smaller than that, but they're still like, I have an old so this old 2.5-inch hard drive. The old devices are about this size, a little deeper, a little thicker, but they're about that big. So your presenter has that in the back pocket, and you have one of these on top of your camera. The Rode Wireless Go is maybe that much. It's way smaller, so it's less than half the size. Really quite impressive. And so this Mark II version, I'm guessing that they've you can clip them straight onto your jacket. It's got a microphone in it that sounds pretty good. Although if you want, there is a microphone input jack on them, so you can use a lav mic with it and stick it in a back pocket if that's how you want to use it. But yeah, the fact that it has an inbuilt microphone, I think is really clever. That if for some reason your lav mic breaks or you've forgotten it because you're an idiot, like I've done things like that all the time, then having an option, just an option, is always good. And yeah, it's got a 200 milliamp hour battery in, I think. It's got another clever thing in called the safety channel, where it actually records, well, it transmits in stereo, where the left channel is the level you wanted, and the right channel is actually 20 dB down. So if you shout and you clip the mic, it's actually got a second channel that's not clipped.
Right.
Very clever. Yeah, you can plug in an external microphone, like I said. You can connect the receiver directly to a mobile device via USB-C or Lightning. That's clever. So you can have it as like an input for a phone. Yeah, there's some really clever little things going on here now. Maybe that's the Mark II system, because I didn't know if that was a thing. But yeah. Yeah, very, very clever. I can't see anything anywhere that tells me what the new Mark II stuff is. But yeah, usually with Mark II versions on wireless, you'll get better range, less dropouts, higher fidelity, lower noise floors, all that kind of thing. And I would imagine that's what we're going to be seeing here. Generally, if you're going to make a Mark II version, you usually push the technology until you've got marked improvements in each category. Yeah,
definitely.
Also, Marty says, yeah, it's encrypted. Yeah, encrypted channels. So because it's over the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi band, and although I'm not entirely sure why that would be too much of a bad thing if someone intercepts your transmission of your audio, because they'd probably have to be within listening range, so they could just hear you. But yeah, I suppose anything like that is always a bonus. But yeah,
you don't want them getting the recording though, essentially.
I guess not. I mean, it would be a clearer recording for them than just standing near you with a mic. But yeah, if we do any more live sound in the future, it might be worth looking at them. Because yeah, you can have two transmitters going to one receiver that receives in stereo. Very clever. Very simple. I like simple. So, moving on. Tom Oberheim, who we've talked about on the show several times, from Oberheim Synths, and finally got his license name back from Behringer, has announced their TVS Pro, which was one of their later keyboards, as a special edition that they're re-releasing. Each one will come with an Oberheim badge, because it can now, and will be personally signed by Tom Oberheim. So, yeah, he said he'd retired, but apparently he's just gone, you know what, let's do a few more, just because people keep asking. So, yeah, it's it looks like it's a 2-voice synth. Yeah, 2 SEM mono synths tied together. So it's a bit like the old classic. And yeah, it's very similar to one of my favorite keyboards, which is the Oberheim OB8. But with it being more modern, it's probably got nice things like MIDI in and out. It's a bit more reliable. Because, yeah, it's the old Oberheims were the kind of thing where when you went on tour with one, you took a guy with you to fix it every day. I'm not kidding. Vintage synths. Pain in the backside. Yeah. It's like Rush. That's why there were only 3 people in Rush, because they had like a team of 10 people to make all the stuff work, so they couldn't afford another band member. Yeah. So yeah, apparently a few years ago, he was planning to do a Eurorack version of the SEM, which is that bit. That's why I could see that it was a 2-voice. If I zoom in on this picture, you can almost see that there's a perfect group of knobs there that's there twice. It's something that when you've seen one, you kind of know what they look like. One of those is a vintage synth module, basically, that Oberheim made. And so there's 2 of them, and then a lot of control fancy stuff on the left, which I don't know what it does. But I'm sure with some time in a manual, I could be like, oh, that does the thing. Bleep, turn it down. And Yeah, but it's almost iconic in the synth world, the SEM module. And yeah, the OB8s and all the classic Oberheims were just like 6 or 8 of these just stuffed inside a very big box. And they could make the biggest, fattest synth sounds. But yeah, good on old Tom Oberheim coming out of retirement. Price of the previous run was £3,299 each, which, considering these are like all handmade and hand signed by Tom Oberheim, again, we're talking about expensive stuff. I can almost see why, yeah. Imagine if Leo Fender was still around and was hand signing some of those classic, guitars that Fender are putting out now. That would almost be part of, justifying the huge price tags on those things.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely.
But it's that kind of thing. And yeah, delivery is expected later this year. And apparently Tom Oberheim says they'll make more of a fuss about it when they have a better idea of timescales, which, with everything that's been going on recently, I think that's quite reasonable, because no one knows when they're going to get technology at the moment, because the world.
Yes, the world indeed.
Yeah, it's a bit mental how even car production has largely had to stop recently because they can't get the computers to make the cars go.
I know, right?
Yeah. They can't get the computers to make the cars go. What is happening in this world?
I know. Strange world.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still trying to keep my eye out for any NVIDIA 3000 series graphics card. If I see one, I'll get...
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, I'm keeping an eye out for one. I'll build a desktop system around one, I think. Because this laptop's good, but when I'm doing a full-on mix and a live stream, it struggles a bit. And
what's the thing behind the 3000 series?
They're just good.
Like, I know, but unless you're doing a lot of gaming.
Video editing. I'm doing a lot of video editing. And the 3060, even the 3060 is like, it's light years ahead of the 1060 that I'm using right now. And
yeah, but so is the 2000 series.
Yeah, but you can't buy them.
Yeah, but you can't buy any of them, so.
Yeah, but even at retail, you can't buy a 2000 series. And
oh, right, because it's not selling, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, they're literally out of production, yeah. If they somehow said, hey, we're going to do some 2000 series stuff at a lower price if you want that, I'd be like, yeah, I love that. I'm on a 1060 right now, so I'm not exactly desperate. But like this Celestian video that I'm doing is probably going to be about a 4-hour video with multiple layers of 4K in a lot of places. And even with 32 gig of RAM and a 6 gigabyte graphics card VRAM, it cries and it slows right down. Yeah. Why were they out of production again? But the 2000 series. The 2000 series are out of production because they started making the 3000 series. That's just how companies work. The 3000 series are not out of production. They're just supply and demand. There's not enough supply and there's far too much demand. Yeah, just can't get them.
I know. On that, I had a notification that I've just been paid out from the mining pool, and it's like 70% of last week's because of the issues with the drivers. And also Ethereum prices going down, but like, so annoying. Looking Microsoft losing me money.
And damn you, Microsoft.
And the Ethereum chain's so bogged up at the moment that it's probably not worth even moving it until next week now because the gas prices are so high.
Yeah. Typical. Yeah, so Salty Bit says, the 16XX series is still available, I think. Well, not really, no. Even if it was, that series isn't a big enough jump from what I already have for me to justify the leap. That's the thing. If I'm going to buy this, because I'm on a laptop right now, I'm going to have to invest in a desktop system. For me to justify that, it's going to have to be a clear leap above what I've got. Otherwise, I'm just burning money for something that I've already got. Really, maybe 20-30% more improvement. I am okay with what I have unless I can get something that's basically future proof for the next 4 or 5 years. That's always been my mentality with stuff like this. Like the studio computer, when I got that with the 3900 XT beast of a processor in that, I'm not going to need to upgrade that again for a long time. Al says there's a used 3080 on eBay for $650 with a 12-month warranty. And it's gone.
What was that?
Exactly. But that's dollars, which means it cost us about $450 in import fees.
And yeah,
but
no, it's not worth it.
Also, that's probably, if you look closely, a JPEG or a printout or a picture of a 3080. Yeah, if it looks too good to be true right now, it is. That's the problem, is that I, just out of curiosity, yesterday was looking through eBay for stuff like this, and anything that was even remotely sane as a price was actually just a picture of the graphics card.
Yeah, they usually say it somewhere though.
Yeah, but very subtly, very it slipped in there rather than.
Yeah, because I'm trying to find it on this one that I've just found. There's one for £643
for a 3080.
3080 Supreme X10G MSI. Huh.
And our survey says
This can't be real.
that's probably the one that I saw earlier, and it's probably the last line of the description where it's. Oh yeah, by the way, this is just a photo.
I mean, it says digital maximum resolution.
What?
Like, it has the last line in the description says digital maximum resolution, but it doesn't say JPEG anywhere.
Or PNG or photo or.
No, chipset manufacturer MSI on item specifics.
Huh.
In the description, it does say, "Oh yes, no, that's seller." Yeah. The guy's only sold 8 things.
Ah. Coming to you from Sokovia or somewhere like that.
They're from somewhere in the UK.
Huh.
That can't be real. That's probably why it's still there. Because everyone's like, nah.
Everyone's looking at it and going, nah, you're having me on. You're having a laugh. But yeah, I did.
I mean, it's a make a punt there.
Yeah.
I mean, PayPal.
Oh boy. But yeah, I keep looking on our local retailer is Scan for anybody who scan.co.uk for anyone in the US. They are our local, it's essentially equivalent of somewhere not like Best Buy, but somewhere like what was the place? Not like Fry's either, because they've just closed down.
Target.
I guess it's Scan's very PC. It's like Micro Center. There we go. Yeah, it's more like Micro Center, where it's very tech focused. Where somewhere like Best Buy, they've got a tech section, but yeah, but they, on their website, if you look at any 30 series, they don't even have pre-order or out of stock buttons on the products. They just no. For the entire series line, just nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have the option of giving them money and waiting. They've probably had enough people that have given them money, waited, and then been all impatient and be like, I want my money back. It's like,
oh yeah, like the phone lines they literally turned the phone lines off at one point because I was trying to get hold of them about a power supply.
Wow.
And there was another website online that I was looking at that actually had the list for the queues, and I looked looked at it, and they basically had something like 200 grand's worth of pre-orders in terms of queuing. So
Wow.
basically, the site actually showed you how many people are ahead of you in order to try and deal with the issue, which I thought was actually pretty good. So it said, look, this is how many orders we've got waiting. So if you order now, you'll be number 2,000 in the queue for each graphic card. It's really clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was hundreds of thousands.
It's just crackers,
Like,
isn't it?
on order.
Absolutely.
None of been delivered yet either.
No, I do wonder as well, and this is not a conspiracy theory or anything. I just wonder because this is quite a legitimate business practice. I wonder if for their pre-built PCs that they make, they're earmarking a lot of the stock that comes in for their own builds.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Because you couldn't buy the graphics cards, but you could still buy them in the 3XS builds. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I mean. They're earmarking them for their own builds first because why wouldn't you as a company? That's not even shady business practice. That's just, look, this is our priority. This is what we do.
Well, it just makes sense. Like, if you want a 3080, you've got to buy the rest of the computer with it.
Yeah, absolutely. As a business, why would you not do that? That's just clever business. But yeah, crazy. I usually build computers for myself, but in this current climate, I'm looking at these going, oh. Ace has been sitting on two 2060s new in box for a year or so. Get them sold on eBay, lad. Ace in chat. Get them sold on eBay. Make a lot of money. Yeah, seriously.
No, you'll get them on eBay. They don't work. They're not worth anything. How much do you want?
Yeah. In all seriousness, send us a DM. We'll have them for money.
Yeah. If you're a sensible offer, I'll probably buy it off you.
Yeah, me too.
To add to my collection.
Yeah. I mean, a 2060 is a serious jump up from a 1060 as well. So, yeah.
My 2070 in my laptop, even the mobile version, is fire. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, rendering times are just nothing. I set something rendering yesterday, day before.
Yeah.
And I went to make a coffee, came back, it was done. I was like, oh shit, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Upload it.
Well, that's something I've learned a lot with Premiere recently, is that it depends what you're doing. If it's just 4K with a grade, now, with all the improvements they've done, it just screams. But like this Celestian video where I've got a background with an alpha layer and 3 4K videos and graphics in that, it almost hits a limit where it goes fast, medium, nope. And that's what I mean. It hits that VRAM limit and the system RAM limit where it can't do the fast thing anymore. It just kind of goes and just, yeah, it's frightening to watch. It's like some of the advert videos that I do for Riff Hard, it's like it's a 50-second video, but with all the After Effects stuff that's in there, it takes 5 minutes to render a 50-second video.
Wow.
Which, I mean, it's not unreasonable, but some of the other stuff that I do, like I exported a 50-something minute interview with me and Dan from Rev, which is going on the channel this week, finally. That 51-minute interview took about 20 minutes to render in 4K.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's quite reasonable. But once he started in the graphics and stuff, it's suddenly just... It's just...
Yeah, I was just exporting like it was a screen, it's a recorded Zoom call basically, and I just cutting it out and then exporting it, and it was like 45 minutes long and it took like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Just like zoom.
Terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so much of the stuff in Premiere now is GPU accelerated that it just flies by. Yeah. You want to decode a 4K video? Graphics card will do it for you. You want to color grade it? Gets done on the graphics card. You want to export it as a 4K H.265? Graphics card does it. What does Premiere actually do these days? Not a lot. That's why it gets thrown out. It's just like, right then. Oh, yes. But yeah, I do want a system like that. But at the moment, I'm looking at it going, you don't need this. You want it, but you don't need it. But you want it, but you want it. You want it.
Yeah, I was a bit like that. The PS5's being kind of becoming available.
With its large collection of game.
Yeah, and I was like, would quite like one, but I can't justify one.
No. I think the difference is a PS5 would be lovely, but like I joke, there is such a small game library for it right now that it just can't quite justify it. Whereas a decent mixing and editing PC, I'd probably spend half my life sat in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, you know what? the the justification hammer comes down. Ah, boy. But yeah, I only just, it feels like I only did a PC build video on the stream like 3 months ago. I know it was a lot longer ago than that though.
Oh God, it does feel like a couple of months ago. How long ago? Don't tell me it was like a year ago or something.
Oh, at least. Oh no, I've got to look on the channel now. Unless anyone else knows exactly how long ago it was. PC build live. It was July 10th, so it was 9 months ago.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's what happens when every day is the same.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Was it really then? Did we do it in the middle of the? Yeah, we did in the middle of the lockdown. Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was the point where we were all still like proper lockdown. So neither me or you had been out of the house other than that.
Yeah.
So we both kind of in full quarantine. So we were like, right, well, we'll stay the other side of the room from each other, but like this isn't an issue. And it was when there wasn't. It was the bit where they went, "Hey, everyone, you can go out a little bit if you want."
That's right. It was after the first lockdown. Yeah. Yes. So yeah, I mean but that computer has been absolutely monstrous. But because of where it is in the studio, I can't just kind of pick it up and put it under my arm and take it home and take it back to the studio every time because it's pretty much just in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky. I don't want to spend any more money. Nobody wants to spend any more money. But then with all these jobs that we can't talk about being on the channel pretty soon, it might be a justifiable expense. We'll see.
Let's see.
We will see indeed. But yeah, I'm very excited to be able to tell you all what I've been doing. It won't be long. In fact, I'm going to be working on 2 of those things today and 1 of those things tomorrow. So hopefully, very soon, all will become clear.
Ooh.
And then I can come out of this little phase where I'm going, I can't say this to that person, I can't say this to this person. It makes me go cross-eyed and want to cry. But there you go. Oh, there's been a lot of people buying stuff on the Two Notes store over the last month.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, there's been quite a few little offers going on the Two Notes store, so that's exciting. Yeah. And yeah, it's all exciting stuff. Sorry, I'm on a different planet because I'm just now my mind is like, ooh, build a PC. No, don't. Yeah, get one of those fancy those AMD CPUs that you can't buy. That's the thing. It's not only the graphics card you can't buy; it's the CPU you can't buy either.
It's just all of it. You can't even. If you need a big power supply, you can't buy them either.
Ah, yes. I mean, I've got pieces of wood and some.
Anything you can find with of any sort is gone.
If you can't buy a case, I've got some spare pieces of wood and some wall mount drywall screws and sockets that I've been putting shelves up with. So I could build you a case. It would be fugly, but that's the official name for it. There's ugly and then there's fugly. But yeah, oh my, looking at the prices for some of these machines is making my eyes water a little bit. Ooh boy.
The price of the graphics cards, like the Vega 56s, which I was picking up to mine, I was able to get two of them at 350, and I was umming and ahhing at 350 because I wanted to get them under 300 because some of them were going. The cheapest they're going for now is just under 600 quid.
Yeah.
Like the aftermarket second-hand values doubled since December.
Yeah, it's all a bit crazy. If only I had extra gear to just sell. Ah. Oh well, everything is fine. Yeah, no end in sight for these shortages. Yeah, but that's just it's gonna happen until people go back out into the real world and see the sun and decide that being outside is more important. Us nerds are not gonna get a look in for a little while. Because little Johnny must play Call of Duty, seeing as though he can't go out and play football. Times that by population of the world, and yeah, it happens. But there you go. I'm just looking at Scan as a PC builder, the 5900X processor, and with a 3070 graphics card, and it's just it's pre-order only. Will confirm an ETA when your order's processed. Tough luck.
Yeah, even they're sold out now.
Yep. It's like, yeah, nah.
All gone.
Yeah, all gone. Bye bye. Oh, the graphics card you've selected will not fit into your chosen chassis. Pick a bigger box. Oh, right. Okay. Ah, well. I'm not picking any. Anyway, I'm completely getting sidetracked here.
I know. Just looking on Facebook Marketplace to see if there's any graphics cards. The first that popped up is someone's taken a picture of their kid and then put them on Facebook Marketplace for £5 under the title of manual labor.
Wow.
What?
I'm pretty sure there's some Facebook groups for terrible Facebook Marketplace.
That's definitely one of them.
I mean, is it tongue in cheek or is it completely?
No, I'm not clicking on it.
Oh man. Oh yeah, because then you'll get related adverts.
Yeah.
That's a
Anyway,
terrifying
do we have
thought.
any more news, or is that
That's
it all?
That was the end of the news. Any questions from the chat before we disappear into looking at super expensive computers? Oh dear. If that's a no, then yeah, I'm going to stop looking at that page now because it's silly. Although I did apply for a grant this week, and yeah, I don't know. Any live mixes this week? Good question. I've got lots of little bits to tidy up, but right now I don't have any major mixes on. But I've got so much editing to do for other projects. It might be a quiet week this week. Depends if I get any more songs to mix from Sky Asylum. If I do, then we'll be working on with that because I have the 2 songs that we have, but it looks like I'll be mixing the entire album. So I'll. I missed out Reaper Razor edits news. What? Reaper Razor edit. Oh. This is something I was not aware of that came out today. Reaper now has a thing called razor editing. I don't actually know anything about this. Da da da.
The Reaper guy doesn't know about the Reaper thing.
Yeah, well, it came out. It came out today.
You're fired.
Yeah. So I'm gonna check that out and probably make a video about it because the Reaper blog have already beaten me to it because that's very much their thing, is being on top of Reaper news. So yeah, John at Reaper blog has already done that. So I'll check that out because it looks like it might be a bit of a game changer.
Ooh.
So yes, everybody go and check out Razor edits for Reaper. Yes. And I will get that downloaded from Reaper.fm and see what that's all about. So yes. Oh, there's LV2 plugin support. That's good. That's a type of plugin for Linux that it didn't support before, which means that now there's more types of plugins that you can use, which is always a good thing.
Ooh.
Ooh, indeed. And yeah, there's a bit more with envelopes. Razor editing, I'm definitely going to have to check that out. But I think that's a good place to leave it this week, where I can go and investigate that before I crash, because I've got lots to do and it's already 9:30 at night. So I think it's time to bid everyone adieu, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. And,
Adios.
And we'll see you next week, 8 p.m. for episode 91 of the Hot Pole Podcast. Goodbye. Bye. Hey everyone, that might be the end of the video, but if you fancy carrying on this conversation, we have a Discord server, link is in the description. We're also on Patreon, which is something you can really help us with. We also are on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Hot Pole Studios. See you there.